Welcome back, kicking back here, and I am doing a Rancor solo. Well, it's not solo because I can't do it all. Sorry about that. But I am gonna go ahead and use this team. So far, I've gotten into phase 4, but not been able to get past phase 4 or complete phase 4. I start off typically on manual, so I have Luke, Old Ben, Rex, Biggs, and Qui-Gon. So lots of turn meter reducers, and then Biggs to call assists from those turn meter reducers. And yeah, let's kind of get started. I typically start off with doing it manual just because it seems to help out a little bit. Just getting kind of everything started. Let's see, go ahead and kill that guard. And then we will, next time we come back to Rex, we'll get tenacity up. And then from here, now that the guards are gone, we should be able to just go put it on auto and let the team kind of go for itself. So the main purpose of this is the main idea that I came up with is that my Luke is gear 9. My Rex is gear 11. Qui-Gon is gear, I believe, 11. Biggs is gear 10, and Old Ben is gear 9. Obviously all 7-star. And the idea is to have basically a lot of turn meter reducers on their basics. So Rex takes off, I believe it's 35% with his basic. Qui-Gon takes off 25% with his basic. Biggs is in there to call those members, call assists from those members with their basics. Old Ben is kind of in there to just basically help with any mistakes, essentially. Like, sometimes their basics will get resisted, and Old Ben can, with his one he's obviously a tank, so he can take a lot of damage, and two, the ability you just saw there a second ago, I forget the name of it, the one where he can ability block, can also reduce turn meter, and when that's Omega, I believe it's up to 100% turn meter, or maybe it's up to 50% turn meter reduction. And that's kind of the idea of this. And so basically from here you can just kind of watch them go. When you see something like that where Old Ben gets called for an assist, usually it's not the end of the world because the other ones will come into play, but sometimes you can see that it will cause problems, and you know, if they had called someone else, maybe the guard wouldn't have been able to go or something like that. But once it gets going, it pretty much just kind of goes for itself and is pretty cool to watch. Once we get to the Rancor, you'll see that the Rancor is a little bit tougher. The guard rarely gets to go, but the Rancor will get to go here and there more often. I will typically save the door on the Rancor for kind of those moments where you might be worried that the Rancor is going to get a turn. See, like right there, it would have been nice. No assist, or no removal on the wrong, because of the wrong assist called, and then Luke got resisted for his 100% turn meter reduction. So that type of stuff is always a little frustrating, and you can definitely cause problems if they end up. The guard used his attack where he puts or not his attack where he debuffs with Deathmark. But yeah, so once he calls the guards back, you kind of want to get involved again just because you can't have them. Well, you just want to get rid of them as quick as possible. And even though they are, like, old Ben is at what, half health right now, he should heal by the end of this. Dodge, really? Getting a lot of resists, a lot of dodges at the time. Of course, the time I go to film it is the time that it doesn't go quite as well. But we do see that Ben is back at full health, and we should be finishing this phase up now. So here we come up on the Rancor, and I'll typically leave this on auto for the first couple times, and then if I see that the Rancor's resisting or anything like that, then I'll kind of hop in real fast. So he's at full turn mirror and he gets to go. That's not necessarily ideal, but looks like we're okay right now. Yeah, see that was mind tricks right there, which took the Rancor below 50%, or it took away 50% turn meter. You see, we're just kind of beating up on him at this point. So I want to show some of the mods and stuff like that, mods and stats. So you can see Commander Luke here. He is 207 speed. Obviously this can be better and will help the run more if he's higher, but that's kind of the big deal. His potency is at 26%. That's also helped boosted up to like 40 with his unique. And then Qui-Gon, he's at 106%. Also pretty fast, 194. Well, quote unquote pretty fast. You know, he's faster than not. But I have seen many faster ones out there. But yeah, just kind of gives an idea of what potency and speed you're looking at for these runs. That resist right there was a bit of a bummer. My guess, yeah, Rex will put tenacity up, but we should be okay. One thing I have found out is that you only want to use the door if you really have to, because the damage that they'll take is actually less worrisome because of how many attacks they get in. They'll tend to heal themselves back up, whereas if you use the door, it decreases the cooldown on Devour, which is right here, I believe. Oh no, it's a slam. Bellow. So right now he's got 4 turns before he can Devour. The door reduces the cooldown on that, and because obviously you can't reduce turn meter while he's down, so he definitely gets a turn. So if you can save that and you can kind of weather the damage, it actually ends up working out better, I've found. Looks like we're doing pretty good, about halfway or so. 60%. You see, the Rancor's actually only taken 2 turns at this point. And it's times like that where Luke misses his 100%, Ben is resisted from the 50% turn meter, and you're like, oh no, this could go badly. But even still, with all the other turn meter reducers in there, they were still kind of able to recover from that. If I had someone like Jin, I think this team would probably be able to finish the entire thing, I believe. My Jin is 7-star, but is not geared up yet to where she can really help out with this yet. That is probably someone I will work on soon, just to round out this team. She's a great character also. Looks like she will be helpful in other places in the game, like territory battles, etc. So something I do plan on working on, and that will help, I think, this team a bit better, just in those cases where you kind of miss something gets mistimed, or something gets resisted, or whatever. So far, it looks like we may get through this entire thing with the Rancor only taking 2 turns, even with a couple crazy resist. Oh, that's bad right there. Yep. But you see, I mean, still have protection for everyone. Ben's still at full health. It kind of keeps going. Also wanted to go over the other 3 stats. Went over the first 2 earlier. So Rex, he's also at about 193 speed. His potency is lower. It could be much better. He's at 21%. I have found, again, it would probably help the run to have him higher, but because I use him in arena, I don't want to constantly be changing mods around. So that's why he is where he is. And then we have Old Ben, whose speed is by far the lowest speed at 116. I probably could get him much higher. I went for more protection on him, but he does have a much better potency to try and land that big mind tricks every once in a while. And lastly, we have Biggs coming up here. And Biggs, his speed is, I believe that's in the 190s as well. And then, I'm sorry, that's 156. So he's a bit slower because I typically run him with wedges unique. But he's just there to do damage. He has 40% potency. I don't know why he doesn't apply anything that I can think of. But yeah, it gives you kind of an idea of what I'm running these characters at. They can always be better, and those will help the runs for sure. Looks like we should be coming up on the end of this here. And here we go, finishing off the Rancor. One thing that's a little different about the way my guild does things is that we have basically our raid launches right at a specific time, and then we ask anyone who solos or posts damage. Basically, if you can clear all of phase 1, you can post 5 minutes after. If you can do up to phase 2, post 10 minutes after. Up to phase 3, post or at phase 3 and solo, like after that, basically after 15 minutes, you can go ahead and post. So, okay, Rancor got a couple different turns there. It always trips me out that their order changes. Anyway, so I'll be switching this off airplane mode here in a second, and we can. We'll see kind of how much damage we did throughout the thing once it ends. But for now, I'm pretty sure we should end up getting to phase 4. notice old Ben's hasn't been healing quite as often. Not quite sure. He just must not be hitting quite as much. There we go. Hold up a little bit. Ah, resisted there. Gonna take a turn. Looks like we're getting out of it. Yeah, got out of it. Hopefully Qui-Gon can heal up kind of with all the attacks he's doing. We'll see if he does. He doesn't heal quite as much. He doesn't have, I don't think, as much health steal as some of the others. I've definitely found that not, like I said, not only using the door if you really have to ends up working out better, just because then when the Rancor gets a turn, he's not just immediately devouring someone. But if he gets to go again, which I would bet he will in this at some point in the next 50%, just with the way RNG works, he will kill Qui-Gon, which will be a bummer. Just because he is one of the turn meter reducers. There went Qui-Gon. But we should still be, for the most part, okay. Whew. little save there from Luke. The Rancor almost getting another turn. Resisted again. The fact that Rex can do tenacity up definitely helps just cleanse any of those stuns and kind of seems to keep the ball moving a little bit. One thing is, Luke doesn't have any Zetas right now, so he's fully Omega'd on everything, but I haven't put a Zeta on Binds All Things. I think that will probably help for when the Rancor does resist some of these things, just because it will boost the turn meter of the team, the entire team. But I haven't gotten to 20 yet, and so haven't been able to put that on just yet. But I think it will help. So close. And there we go. He breaks the controls. No more door. And here we go for the last bit. All right, and they're gonna start at it again, and he gets to go pretty much right away. That wasn't great. We'll see how far we can get. Typically, I get to about 75% before he is really able to finish everyone off. It is good having, it is good having Rex here, I think. But it just doesn't seem to be quite enough turn meter resist, or turn meter removal. Yeah, this is when, that's what happens right there, is that Luke gets stunned, and that kind of ends the run. So we got to 80% of the of phase 4. We'll see how much damage we posted. Turn off airplane mode. And there we go. Around 8 million. Yep, so that's kind of the run. I hope that helps anyone as they begin trying to figure out how to use Commander Luke in these situations. Thanks so much.